Okay, so it's going to be Mech Mage for Phonetap, and this actually looks like Shaman, Mech Shaman for Alchemist.
Wow, that's actually pretty great. That will be definitely an interesting matchup. And wow, a Mech Warper pickup for Phonetap. That's very important. That right now his turn three changed completely. His hand looked weird as a Hearthstone hand. For poker, it was two pairs, so not that bad. But then with Mech Warper, he actually has a pretty good follow-up turn three.
What to
Absolutely.
do?
And Alchemist is going to be looking. Obviously, this tournament is being played today. So Alchemist played in the Kingwin tournament earlier today, and actually went out of that tournament. So he's going to be thinking, he's got to get some success this weekend, and maybe looking to avenge his loss in Kingwin and come back here. But this, I'll be very interested to see how this Mech Shaman plays out. Every time we've seen a Shaman this week, I've been kind of secretly hoping it was Mech Shaman that we've seen a huge amount of, and it'll be really interesting to see how these two mech decks match up against each other.
From my experience, Shaman has an edge because you do run weapons. But then again, with double a Snow Chugger, it might get awkward. If this would be not a Snow Chugger, you just coin out the weapon, you attack, you kill it, and then you know that next turn you kill something again, and you buff your mech that you play, regardless which mech is that. Right now, it's weird for Alchemixt because it's like you probably don't play the weapon. You might because you still are going to use it on turn 4. But then you had a couple other choices. Like you could go for... You basically have to use the coin, I feel. You could go for Harvest Golem and try to build up some board. But then being frozen is definitely annoying. You won't be able to use your Rockbiter to clear. And this turn you're just going to play a minion and pass.
It's probably going to be the Harvest Golem. Harvest Golem, we saw that in Mech Mage yesterday in our final group, but it's not particularly common in Mech Mage, but it feels like it's maybe more common in Shaman a little bit. I guess maybe taking the place of things like Snow Chugger.
Yeah, certainly. One more important thing is that this deck, the full Mech Mage, obviously Alchemix could modify it. It doesn't run Lightning Storm. So right now, Alchemix is in trouble. His weapon is useless because he's frozen. He won't have a Lightning Storm. He can't use the Rockbiter. Well, he can use the Rockbiter on the Harvest Golem, but then he probably wants to play a Piloted Shredder. He needs to develop some kind of board to start fighting against the board that Phonetap is building. And Phonetap is going to continue building the board if nothing is getting cleared.
Yeah, this feels like a really bad spot for Alchemist because he took the calculated risk on turn 2 to coin out the Power Mace and kill the first Snow Chugger, but then he managed to get hit by the second Snow Chugger and then get frozen for an extra turn. So it really kind of messed up his curve. He probably would have been looking to break off the Power Mace and buff one of his mechs and get that nice big body on the board and really take the advantage.
Right now, he also put himself in a weird spot where there is Mirror Entity, and he basically spent all the small minions. So the only minions he has in his hand are the minions you don't want to face. Unless he's trying to play Piloted Shredder, get it copied, and then attack into one Piloted Shredder, try to get the Doomsayer, and then attack into a second Piloted Shredder, and again try to get a Doomsayer for Phonetap.
That'll be some next level plays.
Definitely.
I wonder.
Wow. Yeah.
Never rely on the Doomsayer. It never comes out when you want it to.
Especially in a tournament setting. Yeah, but then what is he going to do here? He can't really... Well, if he plays the minion gets copied. It's 100% Mirror Entity because nothing else is getting played in Mech Mage. There's no need for any other secrets.
Yeah, he's going to kill off the spider. He's going to play the spider tank to be copied. I guess that's the least worst minion in his hand to be copied. And you can kill the 3/3 spider tank with the Power Mace, and then kill the 3/4 spider tank with the Harvest Golem. He's going to look for Taunt Totem, doesn't get it, so it's a spell power, and that's probably a pretty... Usually in Shaman that can be a really, really effective totem, but I think in the Mech Shaman, the spell power totem is probably the worst.
That's an interesting sequencing decision as well. Because he played Spider Tank first, it means that he wanted a chance for the Spider Tank to be buffed. And then he would probably trade Harvest Golem into the Snow Chugger. So maybe the fact that the Harvest Golem got buffed was not good for Alchemixt here. And he obviously had to play a minion because he wants to follow up with Fire Elemental on turn 6.
Phonetap playing around the possibility of Lightning Storm there by killing off the Spell Power Totem and the Doomhammer coming into hand. That's not going to be useful this turn. But does have Doomhammer. Doomhammer, is that a particularly common card in Mech Shaman?
Yes. The Mech Shaman that Firebot first introduced with Purple Dank, I believe, was really bursty. And you do run Doomhammer, one copy of a Doomhammer, and you do have, I think, one Lava Burst. You do run the Wind Fury 3/2 minion. How is it called? Like the wee guy. All right, so Alchemix in a weird position here. He needs to kill the Snow Chugger with a Fire Elemental. There's not really a good way to use the Rockbiter, and Doomhammer would be useful if not for being frozen, because he could get rid of Anoyatron. So this appears that this game is almost over.
And the Tinkertown, that's going to be really good for the Archmage next turn as well. Does he get the Cloak? No, it's the attack. I guess that'll do. Do you maybe consider using the spare part here to trade the Shredder for the Fire Elemental?
No, I don't think you do. I think you're a position that you can trade if you want, but you basically position yourself. Like, you ping the 2/1, the 4/1, you kill the 3/3 with a 3/4.
And then
you attack for 5 to face.
I guess this is the one tournament setting where if you killed your Shredder, a Doomsayer would pop out. Almost guaranteed.
Yeah, possibly. That's why you want to protect your Shredder. Yeah, you want to get your opponent low enough so that you can win with Fireball whatever happens. But still, this board is winning the game anyway. Like, a Fireball from Antonidas next turn is like your safety net. So there's no way you can die this turn. But if your board gets cleared somehow, you want to have the possibility to get the Fireball and win with the Fireball next turn. That's why you had to get your opponent at least to 7 points of health.
Well, that's going to be pretty academic for Alchemist here, and he's going to lose this Battle of the Mechs. We see another mad scientist coming down. He was looking for the Doomsayer.